verdicts we heard the jurors through the phone, thanks to Liam Bridgman. Megan Boswell now being brought into the court.
A now convicted murderer in the death of her daughter, Evelyn. She's about to learn from the jury of 7 men and 5 women if they are recommending that she has the ability to have parole after 51 years. Tennessee, this is not a death penalty case. The prosecution did not choose to seek the death penalty in this case.
All right, let's take a listen.
We approach
So again, we're back on the air right now watching the lawyers, prosecution defense meeting with Judge Jim Goodwin there on the sidebar. We're about to enter the sentencing phase of the Megan Boswell trial. Again, 19 convictions, first-degree murder, felony murder, 2 counts of that. Also aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect. Is guilty all the way down, tampering with evidence, those host of false reporting charges for all those stories that she came up with to try to explain where her baby was, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and then also the charge for not reporting a death. The jury is now coming back into the courtroom. It appears that's why they're all standing.
You may be seated. Thank you. All right, General.
Judge, stay with introduce it. I'm sorry.
You can do an opening statement if you would like to.
Okay. No, I stay with the opening statement.
Do you have an opening?
I do.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, although I may not agree with your verdict, I respect your verdict. I respect you. I thank you for your time. And I have one more thing to ask you. You have to make a decision now, and that decision is it's going to mean the difference. If you sentence Megan Boswell to life in prison, she'll be released when she is probably 69 years old. It'll be 8. She's been in jail. You probably realize she has been in jail since she was 18 years old. She went to jail February the 25th of 2020, and she hasn't been released. So with that said, if you give her a life sentence, it would be 51 years. That's what I'm asking you to do. If you give her a life without sentence, she will never be released from prison. That's the difference. So it would be the difference between her being released at what I believe would be 69 to 70 years old or never being released. In doing this process, and Judge Goodwin will read you some very short jury instructions comparative to what you heard yesterday. You look at statutory aggravating factors and mitigating factors. In this case, the state will submit the age of the child as the aggravating factor. Our mitigating factors, we've listed several of those. They include no significant criminal history, her youth and age at the time the offense was committed. She was 17 when she had Evelyn. She was 18 when Evelyn died. You'll hear more about her unstable and chaotic home life. We'll hear from her mother, Angela Boswell. She's here today. You'll hear from Angela about domestic violence that Megan witnessed between her parents. You'll hear from Angela about drug use that Megan witnessed her parents engage in. You'll also hear about her schooling. It wasn't seamless, and how one of her primary role models was her grandfather, Tommy Boswell's father. He died when I think she was 11 or 12 years old. You'll hear that. And finally, you'll hear a little bit about her younger siblings, Elijah and Charlotte. Elijah has a disability that Megan has looked after him and tried to help take care of him. And then you're also feel free to look at any other thing you've heard in the proof and making that decision as far as mitigating factor. Anything else you've heard in all the proof from any of the witnesses. And also, you'll probably hear from Gail Kite. You've heard from her once before, but you'll hear a little bit more from her about the shape Megan was in when she came into her home. And you'll hear from, we expect to call Mary Boswell. She is Megan's grandmother. I think most of you recognize the name of Mommy at this point. You'll hear from her and what she witnessed and her participation in raising Megan. So it's a hard decision. It's not a light decision. You've made a hard decision already. And it's my hope that after you see this, you will come to the conclusion that maybe at 69 years old, it would be fair for her to be released from prison.
All right. General, proof.
Yes, Judge. At this time, the state would introduce a copy of birth certificate of Megan Boswell.
All right. That'll be Exhibit 262. We want to keep the exhibits in sequential numbers, but I've started a new sheet for the sentencing part. It'll be Exhibit 262. Any other proof, General?
No, Judge. That's state address.
All right. Mr. Scott.
Judge, we call Angel Boswell. Angel Boswell.
Just going to stop running to the main standard, Judge.
Raise your right hand, man. State your name for me.
Angela Boswell.
You solemnly swear firm testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and but the truth, man. Have a seat. If you'll pull the microphone down and talk straight out of that microphone. Actually, you know what? I need to switch these.